Welcome to my channel, Knowing the Bible, Verse by Verse, a space where we will explore the most important events narrated by the pages of the Bible. The story of Cain and Abel, recorded in chapter 4 of Genesis, is not simply an account of the first children of Adam and Eve. It is a story that resonates through time, reflecting human struggles with jealousy, pride, envy, and the relationship with God. Through this story, we learn about the importance of the choices we make and the consequences that these bring, both spiritually and earthly. Adam and Eve, after being expelled from the Garden of Eden, begin a new life on earth. In the midst of their pain and regret, they are granted the gift of fatherhood, their first child, Cain. It represents the hope of a new beginning. Later, Abel is born, the second son, who becomes a shepherd, while Cain works the land as a farmer. From the beginning, the roles of the brothers mark their destinies and symbolize the diversity of human occupations. Cain represents hard work and the struggle with the land, while Abel personifies the connection with the living and the spiritual. At a crucial moment, both brothers present offerings to God. Cain offers fruits of the earth, while Abel presents the firstborn of his flock and the best part of them. God's reaction is revealing. He gladly accepts Abel's offering, but rejects Cain's. Why the difference? The story does not give us an explicit answer, but we can infer that the brothers' attitude towards God played an important role, while Abel offered his best with a humble and devout heart. It seems that Cain's offering lacked sincerity or genuine devotion. This rejection provokes in Cain a deep resentment and envy towards his brother. God in his mercy does not abandon Cain to his wrath. Instead, it offers him a warning. If you do the good, you will not be accepted. But if you don't, sin is at the door. He covets you, but you must master him. Genesis 4:7. This moment reflects God's grace in giving Cain a chance to redeem himself. But it is also a reminder that sin is always present, waiting for an opening to enter. Ignoring God's warning, Cain allows envy and hatred to consume him. He invites Abel to walk with him into the field, where he attacks and kills him. This act of violence is not only physical murder, but a rupture of the first brotherly relationship of humanity. It is an act that marks the first bloodshed on earth. The magnitude of the act is such that the blood of Abel cry out to God from the ground. This detail not only underlines the seriousness of sin, but also the justice of God, who does not ignore the voice of the innocent. After the murder, God confronts Cain with a question similar to the one he asked Adam, "Where is your brother Abel?" Cain responds evasively, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" This exchange shows the hardness of Cain's heart and his refusal to take responsibility. God, however, already knows the truth, declares that the blood of Abel cries out from the earth and pronounces a punishment on Cain. He will be a vagabond and a wanderer in the land. This punishment reflects the separation of God and the earth itself, which now refuses to bear fruit to Cain. Despite the gravity of the sin, God shows mercy to Cain by putting a mark on him that protects him from those who might try to kill him. This act emphasizes justice balanced with divine grace, reminding us that even in punishment, God does not completely abandon his own. Cain walks away from God's presence and establishes a city, beginning a line of descent that reflects the expansion of humanity, but also the increase of sin. His story contrasts with that of Seth, the third son of Adam and Eve, whose line seeks to reconnect with God. The story of Cain and Abel is not just a tragedy of the past. It is a mirror that reflects our own internal struggles. It teaches us about the importance of the attitude of the heart in our offerings to God and in our relationships with others. It also warns us about the danger of allowing envy and sin to dominate our lives in today's world. This story invites us to reflect on how we treat those around us, especially those with whom we may feel rivalry. It reminds us that we are responsible to each other, and that our choices have consequences both personally and collectively. The blood of Abel, who cried out from the earth, continues to speak to us. Today he calls us to seek justice, reconciliation, and humility. Watching this story challenges us to live lives of genuine faith and to fight the sin that lurks at the door. It is a reminder that, although sin can separate, God's grace is always present to guide us back to Him. Thank you for joining us in this chapter of our series. If you like this content, don't forget to subscribe, activate the bell, and share it. See you in the next video, where we will talk about the greatest catastrophe of humanity, the universal flood.